afternoon and thank you for staying tuned. I'm Shiv Sena and we begin this edition. You would remember how Shiv Sena leader Arvind Sawant had publicly objectified and later apologized for the sexist remark that he had made against Shaina NC. Shaina NC, who now joins us live on the broadcast to first get your reaction after his apology that you had demanded. Does this mark a closed chapter for you? Is this apology enough?
So firstly, let me please say this is not an apology for me. It should be an apology for the people of Mumbai, the women of Mumbai, and the women of Mumbai and the women of Maharashtra. On the one hand, you have the terminology like mal being used, and you have your local MLA standing there and laughing away. I want to ask, would he laugh at somebody from his own community or from his own vote bank or his own proximity? Probably not. It shows you a mindset, and today obviously Sanjay Raut's comment has made it only that much worse, where he has said that I am imported. Let me please clarify the fact that I'm not imported. I belong to South Mumbai, have lived in South Mumbai all my life, and in fact my grandmother's home, my mother grew up between Madanpura and Nagpada, and she is very much from Mumbai, so I don't understand what this hue and cry is. And if he feels it's perfectly all right to call a woman mal, I would question the mentality and the mindset and the shoddy thinking of the Mahavinash Agadi. It's so sad that none of their leaders have spoken up. None of the women leaders have spoken up. All through my years of 20 years in public service, I have never gotten to controversies. I have never registered an FIR. I have never been, targeted by anyone. And I have always believed in the cause of women. And I have spoken up for all those women sitting on the opposite side when any nasty comment or any kind of, atrocity against them. So I do think it's time to write to all of them and ask them to speak up for the cause of women in public life.
Oh yes, absolutely. And it is important for every man and every politician to understand that they can't just get away by making a remark like that. In fact, even Arvind Sawant, who first refused to apologize and for the longest time kept saying that he was being taken out of context. Most importantly, in his defense, he said that he had not named you. I mean, how could he actually go on to say that? That does not defend him in any way.
So I can't defend the indefensible. For 48 hours, he says that, he said nothing wrong. And now today he is tendering an apology, which should be an apology for the women of Mumbai and the women of Mumbai Devi particularly. But I am very clear that Maa Mumbai Devi's Ashirwad ke saath hum aage padhe hain. And despite being a woman, I am nobody's mal. And if he wanted to debate, he could have debated on any core issue of development for this area. He is the Member of Parliament for 10 years. The MLA, Amin Ali Patel, has been there 15 years. And what development has happened in Mumbai Devi is known to one and all. No cluster redevelopment, no kind of BIT redevelopment project. You look at Kamatipura, where I was last night at 1 o'clock, where there was a huge fire and nobody was even present. And what was the point of just constantly talking about development? If you have no issue and you have nothing left and you believe a sexist jibe is your way forward, then I would only say wait for the 20th of November.
And imagine the backlash that he faced, that he actually went on to say that Shaina NC is my friend, thinking that he would be able to get away with it. Also to ask you, does it baffle you that Uddhav Thackeray, Sanjay Raut, all of them kept silent on it?
Absolutely. Not only baffles me, honestly, if I tell you 2014, 2019, he got all of us to campaign for him with Modi ji's photo for the elections. That time we were Ladki Behens, and cut to 2024, when you sense some insecurity, you target a woman and call her imported mal. Now what justification can this be? So I had two options. One is to stay silent and just let it go and say that, oh, in politics everyone comments, or take it to task. And that's why I went to Nagpara police station and registered the FIR, and under the BNS section 79 and section 356(2), there are clearly the outraging a woman's modesty and using this kind of defamatory language for women in public life is something that needs to be viewed very seriously. On the one hand, we have a chief minister like Eknath Shinde who respects women, and Ladki Behan Yojana is just one such scheme where 2.5 crore women have benefited in the state of Maharashtra, and 40,000 women in Mumbai Devi itself, of which 15,000 are Muslim women. So you have the Prime Minister leading by example, the Chief Minister leading by example, and the Mahavinash Aghadi doing just the opposite, which is disrespecting women.
Exactly my next point to you, that you went on to file a formal complaint. The fact that he has apologized, will you now take your complaint back? And do you also think that given the upcoming polls, this U-turn by Arvind Sawant to save face?
Absolutely not. If at all now, Mr. Sanjay Raut must apologize. Look at his statement today. This is like, you know, a musical chair where one gets up, the other sits. The other gets up, the other sits. And if this is their idea of attracting media attention, I think it's a bad idea. Because for all of us women in public space, judge us on our work. Talk about what we are proposing to do. And if you feel the easiest way is to just play this kind of jibe and itemizing and objectifying women, then I think you have a lot to not look forward to on the 20th of November.
Oh yes, absolutely atrocious. And this kind of a statement made against any woman is unacceptable. Shaina and Sia, I want to thank you for speaking to Republic this afternoon. Your first response after Arvind Sawant has issued that apology. And we continue to track more such reactions as we move on to other breaking news.